Tonight, nearly 1,000 Arizonans learned that they were positive for HIV here in the state back in 2022. That's according to new numbers from the Arizona Department of Health. This also marks a 20% jump in new infections in just 1 year and the highest number of new cases identified in Arizona since the late 1980s at the height of the HIV pandemic. Tonight, we wanted to know what's fueling that rise and what you can do to make sure that you protect you and your loved ones. It was Eric Morales' first day on the job.
And my title is the Development Manager here at Southwest Center.
When he learned of the troubling statistic, a 20% increase in the number of new cases of HIV in Arizona.
So the fact that there's a 20% increase in HIV cases means that there's lots more work to be done.
It's the work that Morales has made his personal mission for years when he learned of his own diagnosis.
In 2017, when I was diagnosed with HIV, my story was a lot different than those that were diagnosed in the 80s.
Over the last 40 years, medical advancements have made HIV easier to prevent, easier to treat.
Once upon a time, it was a death sentence to be initially diagnosed with HIV and AIDS, and now that's no longer the case.
And modern testing has made HIV much easier to find. But during COVID,
there was a drop-off in HIV testing in 2020.
Ricardo Fernandez is in charge of HIV services at the Arizona Department of Health. He says more tests explain some of the rise in cases, but not all of it.
Well, to be honest, the increase in incident cases was a little bit of a surprise.
Another factor, there are still too few people taking preventative treatments.
Particularly among folks that are historically less well served by the healthcare system, like our Black community, in our Hispanic community.
Well, it is important because this is something that we can control.
Leonetti Garcia works for Chicanos por la Causa, helping people get access to the HIV prevention medication called PrEP, along with hosting free testing clinics.
We are here and we're available and our services are free and that we can provide the help that they may be seeking here just around the corner in their neighborhood.
Getting tested is easy. At-home test and free clinics help. And more than that, advocates say it's just as important to talk about HIV.
Personally, I feel like we just need to be more outspoken towards the topic of HIV and sexual health.
Even if you do happen to have HIV, it really is not anything to be ashamed of. The stigma, especially in the Latino community, can be so tough when parents don't even want to talk about a condom, let alone the consequences that come from unsafer sex practices. So.
For Morales, more than 6 years after his diagnosis, he says knowledge is power.
HIV is only dangerous when it's unknown that it's there. That's what actually makes it dangerous.
We're told that the Arizona Department of Health Services does have a list of resources, including details on where and how to get tested for HIV anywhere in the state. You can find that information on their website. That's azdhs.gov.